Did you know that you can study in the United Kingdom with everything fully paid for, including full tuition and a generous stipend of over £20,000 per year? Several top universities are part of this opportunity, and you can apply for either a fully funded 3.5-year PhD or a combined 4.5-year master's and PhD pathway, both including a required placement. Welcome back, my lovely friends. Thank you for always clicking that play button whenever I upload something new. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. I love you. In this video, you will learn the requirements and a step-by-step guide to apply successfully. Stay with me till the end so you do not miss out on any important details. So, come along with me. We are on the official website of SENS, which is the South and East Network for Social Sciences. Now, this is the institution that will be offering you 100% scholarship, and they are partnering with several top universities in the UK to offer you a fully funded a reasonable stipend for your study towards your master's and PhD, as I mentioned in the introductory part of this video. So I would walk you through how you can apply. So you can see SENS ESRC Studentship 2026-2027 for an October 2026 start. So you're going to be starting in October. Why you should consider applying for SENS funding? So you will be paid £20,780 per year for the 2025-26 academic section. Now, your tuition fees will be paid for you and during the duration of your funding, right? And you would have excellent supervisors. You'll be part of a postgraduate community spanning 8 universities, right? So you would select from these universities in the UK, and these are top universities. You would have to choose only one university. You make connections with influential partners, now this studentship scholarship as well is open to both home and international applicants. So do not worry, if you are an international student, you are eligible to apply for this fully funded scholarship. So what options does SENS offer? Let's go through. The structure of the studentship offered will depend on your personal training needs. Now, I have to tell you this, there is a minimum duration of a SENS funded studentship, which is 3.5 years, 3.5 years, unless you already have started your PhD. Now, this covers a PhD and a mandatory placement. So if you're going for your PhD, you spend 3.5 years for your PhD, and you've got a 3 months mandatory placement. Now, it says the maximum duration of a studentship, the maximum duration of a studentship will be 4.5 years. That's 4.5 years. Now, this, if you're not going straight for your PhD, now if you're going straight for your PhD, you should already have a master's program. But if you're not going straight for your PhD and you want to go with through the bachelor's route, you have to spend 4.5 years, and so that is you having a combined master's degree and a PhD, as well as you're going to still have that 3-month placement. So I think this is really fantastic, because this often happens in the US universities. But if SENS is offering you this opportunity to go for both your master's and PhD at one go, I think it is an amazing choice and you should take advantage of it. So studentship include the following for the duration of the award. So you're going to have a tax-free, your stipend is going to be tax-free, and it's going to cover your living cost, which is about £20,780 yearly, as I just said. Now, For those studying at universities based in London, you can say there is an additional 2,000 per year paid as London waiting. So if your university is going to be in London, you get extra £2,000. That is between 2,780. I think that is fantastic because London has a higher cost of living. But if you are studying outside London, you would not get that 2,000. So yeah, and now they're telling you fees, whether home or international, no funded students will have to pay any university tuition fees. You can see that for the duration of their funding award, you're not going to pay any fee. Now you also have access to other funds when you are in the UK. SENS offers two different types of studentship: student-led and collaborative. So let's look at that. Are you eligible? These are the criteria. All applicants, you should choose between the 8 SENS universities, and I'll be showing you those partner universities shortly. Like I already said, if you're studying towards your master's and PhD, you're going to spend 4.5 years, and if you're studying just for your PhD, so you're going to spend 3.5 years, and your tuition is going to be covered totally. Now there are some FAQ questions which is of paramount importance. Then you go through them. The FAQ questions: can I have multiple applications at the same time? You can click on this plus sign and go through. You can only have one student-led application. So this is a student-led application. Go through all of them. We won't be going through them right now, but what steps do I need to take to complete my application? You click on that, you can find all that. Can you find me a supervisor? If you're going for a master's, if you are going for a PhD, you have to get a supervisor. So no SENS cannot assist you with this, but if you click on that operational lead for chosen university, they can assist you with a supervisor, because we all know that if you're going for a PhD, you need to contact a supervisor within your field, right? And they can assist you in acquiring a spot in your any field or course of your choice. Now, when does the competition open? Just go through all of them. Will I receive feedback? Click on any of these ones, but I would advise that you go through all of them, and so that you can equip yourself with all the information that you require in applying for this scholarship. Now, this is a two-way application process, so you're going to be applying for SENS application separately and applying for the university that you have chosen separately. So the SENS partner university that I mentioned earlier, the 80 universities that you would choose from. So you can see them here: City St. Joe, University of London, Cranfield University, East Anglia, Essex, Goldsmith University of Lincoln, Middlesex University of Roehampton. For the purpose of this video, let's go through the University of East Anglia. So we click on that, and so we can go through. So University of East Anglia, we are on their official website now. This is the university website. So I would advise what you would do. So you see this magnifying glass here, you click on it and you type the SENS, all right, and enter. So you see it has brought all these courses for us. This, you can see SENS student-led ESRC PhD studentship, right? So that's the first one. So we'll just go straight there. Do not waste any time. Click on that, and it will take you to the page. And here, voila, we are in. So this is the SENS student-led ESRship PhD studentship course. Started in October 2026. So let's look at the application deadline. The UEA deadline, Monday 15 December. So that's the deadline for applying for your course, okay? Monday 15 December 2025. So you do not need to wait. You can start as soon as possible. Then the Wednesday 14 January 2026, that is the SENS deadline. So I told you there are two different applications. So the deadline for the university application is December 2025, and the SENS deadline is going to be January 2026. Now that is the program type: 3.5-year PhD or 4.5-year Masters plus PhD. That's a combined degree. If you scroll down to the bottom here, you can see what the requirements are, and make sure that you go through all of these as well. So these are the courses: Norwich Business School, School of Economics, School of Education, School of Global Development, Law School, School of Psychology, and so forth. So you select your particular course, your preferred course. Then you can just click on that. We'll get back to that shortly. So these are the entry requirements. Okay, you need to go through all of that as well. You need to citizenship are available to all applicants regardless of nationality or residency across 8 SENS universities. That's those partners university that I showed you earlier. To apply for a Masters Plus, you need to have, it needs to be a 4.5-year award. That's the Masters Plus PhD means if you're applying for 4.5 years, you need to study towards your Masters and PhD, which is a combined degree. Now, if you already have a bachelor's degree, you want to study just for your master's, that will be a 3.5 years. That's 3.5 years. So you can see that to apply for a PhD, only 3.5-year award, 3.5, that's 3.5, just for a master's. So you need to have a bachelor's for that. And also, if you do have a bachelor's and you do not have a master's, you want to study straight to your master's, to your PhD, you need to apply for this one. Then the funding, okay, as we said earlier, you already know that is £20,780 yearly. So the SENS will cover your living costs, your tuition fee, stipend, right? Tuition fee, your stipend, and any other living cost that is required of you. An interesting part, it says additional funding is available to help students with disabilities. So if you have any disabilities, you're going to get extra funds. International students in receipt of a SENS studentship will also receive an exemption from the higher international tuition fees. This means that whether home or international, no SENS funded student will have to pay any university tuition fees for the duration of the funding award. So you are not going to pay any tuition fee. Isn't that beautiful? How to apply early contact. Applicants should make early contact with potential supervisors well before the deadline. Now that is if you're going towards your master's PhD, you need to contact a supervisor, and I'll show you how to go about that shortly. This will ensure that the applicant's research proposal can be fully discussed and refined before their application is submitted. So before your application, you need to contact a supervisor if you're going towards a master's only. Sorry, if you are going towards a PhD. Now, if you are going towards the master's PhD combined, you need to send them an email to request to know if you also need to contact a supervisor. Now, those wishing to be considered for SENS studentship funding must submit 2 applications. I told you this is a 2-fold application process, or 3 if applying for UEA master's degree. Applications to UEA, that's University of East Anglia, applications for a place to study for a PhD and a master's if required, must be submitted to UEA using their online application form. So if you click on that, it will take you to the place where you can fill out the online application form, which is due by Monday 15th December. And like I always say in my videos, you do not have to wait till the deadline. You can start as soon as you get come across this video, so that you would be able to cross all your I's and dot your T's before the deadline and to submit ahead. Now, application to SENS, that's a separate application to SENS. That's the one for the scholarship, all right? A separate application to SENS for studentship funding. This must be made online as well here. So online, this can also be made online. your supervisor's supporting statement. You need to have a supporting statement from the supervisor if you are going through a PhD. Now, please, if you need more information about the application process and any other information about the SENS scholarship, contact this email address. Send them an email if you have questions about the SENS funding or application process. Now, so let's head back to this if you want to apply to your course. So let's take, for instance, we are going for a PhD right now. Okay, so we click on this one because we want to apply for the School of Global Development, which is our preferred course. Now it has brought us to the School of Global Development. Here we would choose our PhD course. So let us select our PhD course. So you scroll down. Now you can click on postgraduate. When you click on postgraduate, you find master courses there. But let's just go straight down to the PhD program. So we click on this one. And now we can find the School of Global Development. That's the course, all right? And these are the research interests, the courses underneath that, the topics underneath the School of Global Development. So you go through all of them. Now that's if you actually chose this as your course, but this is just a rhetorical example to let you know how it works. You don't have to choose this course, okay? Make sure that you go through all of this, all right? These are their scholars. You can check it up to inspire you, the current opportunities. Before you apply, you've got certain information that you can go through. Make sure you read them up. How to write your research proposal. This is of paramount importance because you will need that. Right, the application demystified, your deadlines, new students, what you need to know. Open all of that. Then start your application. Let's say, for instance, you start your application and you apply for postgraduate study. You choose which of them that you're applying for. Go through, select, and you apply. If you do have any questions, you send an email to either this one for research applicants. We're back here. We can look for some of the supervisors that you can contact. So if you scroll down, here you go. So these are supervisors that you can contact. Send them an email. Here you go, the different departments. So let's just click on this one to learn more about this supervisor. You can see that they always have an email. So send them an email and, explain that you are interested in their particular field. That's your area of interest, and they should tell you how to go about the application process and let you know if there is a spot. That is when you are going for a PhD, okay? But if you are doing the combined one, which is the master's and PhD, you need to send an email to that other email address that I asked you, as I showed you earlier, to ask if you also need to get in touch with a supervisor for that. So we are back on the SENS page, their home page. So let's look at the themes for the scholarship. So let's click on here, themes. So these are the themes for the scholarship around the social science discipline. You can see they have the demography, area and development studies, economics and social history, human geography. These are the courses, okay? Psychology, science and technology studies. So they're quite a lot. Social work, social legal studies. So make sure, sociology, make sure that you have your course centered around here, your area of interest centered around here, and that is what the SENS themes are, and this is where the scholarship is going to cover. So make sure you take notice. Make sure you take note of this and have that in consideration, or put that in mind when applying for this scholarship. and also to your preferred university. So that is how to navigate to in applying for your master's plus your PhD, which is a 4.5-year pathway, which is 4.5 years to study towards the master's and PhD, and your PhD 3.5, which is just your PhD for 3.5 years, and we are going to get that fully funded within the 8 universities that I have showed you. So make sure that you go through the application process and apply as soon as possible. If you found value in this video, don't stop here. Watch the next video that will be displayed on your screen shortly to learn how you can study at a prestigious US university with a whopping $50,000 stipend, with an application fee waiver, no IELTS and no GRE test scores required. Make sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever a new scholarship drops. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok for more opportunities and updates from my latest YouTube videos. And if you get selected for the scholarship, please share your testimony. I absolutely love hearing them. Until next time, think big, think success.